Hi, I think there's a message for you. And I don't know, it's not the easiest to begin with, but it turns out okay. I guess those are some spoilers. Sorry. We have Rex Marinus, which is the Drowned King. And I didn't use the book for these today, even though there's so much in the book. Like this deck, if you ever get a random Oracle deck, I want to get this. It's really great. But it does take some like reading. Anyway, but so reading, okay, I don't know because I said that so intensely. Why did I say it like that? Um, maybe it, maybe it's this reading, tarot reading. Maybe it's but when I said reading, I like felt like a book, like I was looking at a book. Maybe there's some reading you need to do. Read up on something. Don't let somebody outsmart you. You need to read up on something because there's a fact, figures I'm hearing that need to be um, understood and doled out. I don't know what that means, but figures and facts being doled out. You're sending it. So this is not for everybody, but you might be needing to prove something that you've done or that you've discovered, and people are not believing it. But if you do your research and you organize this and send it to everyone, I'm getting a few things for that. Then you'll be vindicated right here. So, but beyond that story, oh gosh, okay, crown chakra just really buzzed. And that was happening before I even started. And I heard somebody about something about a headache. Don't ignore that. If you have a recurring headache, don't ignore it. Go to the doctor. Um, if you go now, then it won't cause problems in the future. Um, so anyway, we also have after the Drowned King, uh, Winter Lux Brumalis, and I feel like these Latin terms actually don't mean the same thing, but I forgot to look it up. So, and then Ver, which is spring. So it's like there's a failure. First of all, you experience a failure, like the failure of my hair. Um, every time I go on camera. Um, then what happens is you kind of go into kind of a depression. There is, the winter is coming up, but then spring is also next. Actually, I wasn't being very logical about that in my head. I was kind of mixing up the seasons. So maybe there's a warning here that don't mix something up. Don't allow yourself to mix something up. Maybe it's those facts and figures. Um, or don't let them get mixed up. Don't let them get it twisted. Is what I heard. They don't actually know what they're talking about. Okay, whatever that means for you. Um, and also these orbs are really sticking out to me, and I'm getting like aliens and stuff. By the way, I posted a UFO thing, and they said it was AI. And I'll be honest, every time something like really convincing comes about aliens, I believe it. I cannot, because I know that even if those are fakes, it's only because people have actually seen something. And otherwise people wouldn't be making all these fakes and there wouldn't be these so specific ideas about what aliens are. Anyway, just to let you know. And something about that, like wanting to believe something so much or wanting something to be real, that you believe it um, even if you there isn't complete evidence about it, and the reason why you believe it is because you intuitively know that that's the case. But it doesn't mean that the evidence that you're given is real or is valid. But that doesn't it doesn't make you wrong. It just makes what you're seeing wrong. And it also, there is something about like with emotion and intuition, like when you want something to be true so much, sometimes it blocks your intuition. So yeah, but whatever is happening, whatever failure is happening, there is a sadness that comes up, but then I got reemergence and reawakening. So something is being reawakened within you because of this loss or because of this failure. I do get failure. But in the physical reality we have, nothing will nothing will come of this situation, void of course moon. So as far as the consequences physically, in the physical world, of whatever this failure is that you will be experiencing or that you have experienced, nothing really is gonna, it's not gonna be a big deal in the end. So don't, I mean, you're probably gonna worry anyway, but just as an expression, I'm gonna say don't worry, because um, there really isn't so much to worry about. There's this short winter. Yes, I'm hearing there is this period of kind of suffering that you go through, but um, at the end of the day, it's oh, what the word came to me and escaped me. It's neither here nor there. Basically, that's not the word I got, but it's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, it's not going to matter, like you'll look back on it and it's going to be like, okay, so everybody, we all go through those times of kind of feeling shitty anyway. So this is no different kind of feeling. So let's see, any other details we should know. I'm going to do a few things that I um, took from Andy from 13 Moon Terror, to be honest. But I want to see how it goes. Like, and I should have written it down. But getting the obstacles, getting like the things that you have to your advantage, um, and what you don't see coming about it. And I think that's all. So, but first, let's, any other details for us, Spirit, please. Um, I don't know why I keep getting Star Wars when I do these readings, and I swear I don't think about Star Wars that much. Um, but somebody here must love it, or somebody who will be watching this must love it. So, and if you do, I mean, it doesn't matter if you do or you don't, but if you do, then there's going to be a special message for you coming up, clearly. Um, Also, by the way, Pluto is at the bottom of this deck. It is coming up to Halloween, and that's kind of what it reminds me of, especially with those hands there and the skulls. But also Pluto exiting Capricorn. Thank God. Oh my gosh, this has been a hell of a life. Four of Swords, Four of Voices. Quiet time, I heard. So needing some quiet time, needing time away from people, needing to take your own advice, which that could definitely be for me. I find there's a lot of things I say here that I'm like, oh, hmm, I did not think of it that way. But yes, taking your own advice, taking your own counsel, actually, not your own advice, but keeping your own counsel. So maybe keeping something close to your chest. There might be, yeah, there's some things here that you need to. So there, if we had that story earlier about kind of spreading the information that you need to spread so that you are either taken seriously, or so that what you say is validated in some way, or verified, not validated, but verified. Um, and it sounds like a work situation to me, but it could also be like, I also kind of get like a drama, like a thing with a family or like friends or something, that where there's like a group chat maybe, and somebody's lying about something, and then in the group chat you're like, okay, well then here's the receipts, are you sure that you're telling the truth? And there we, that's that, but taking your own counsel for now. Also, doing some meditation would be good. um, Finding ways to calm your nervous system. Okay, So, by the way, I don't know this like as a fact, but I'm just gonna tell you what I hear. Your digestion, well, yeah, your digestion is linked to your nervous system. Clearly, everything is, but it has a direct effect on it, but not just like the the the, the biome, the probiotics and stuff in your digestive system, but also like if you are constipated or anything like that, it can throw off your nervous system, especially if if you like it's like a warning. So somebody here, make sure you're getting fiber and everything else, and that you are clearing everything out, because and if you are starting to get like anxious from nowhere, and your nervous system is getting dysregulated, and you realize that you haven't cleared out anything for a while, there might be a connection there. So just letting you know, we have death on the bottom of the deck in reverse. There's something you don't want to let go of here. Taking your counsel, not wanting to let go of something. Mothman. I don't know what Mothman is about. I just know that it's a thing. The Hanged Man in reverse. Hanged Muse. Um, okay, not letting go to not so you don't want to, you've been resisting shifting perspective about something, and nobody else is going to be able to convince you to do this. You're going to have to convince you to shift perspective, because you're and you can and you should, in some ways. Like, it doesn't mean that everything needs to shift, but there's something here that you have been holding on to, a belief that you've been holding on to, maybe about yourself, about every failure that you have, maybe about how you think that nothing you do is good enough, that nothing that you do is ever going to bring about any significant change. And that's something that really needs to be looked at, and not worked on, just looked at. Because if you look at it and you just observe it, and observe how that makes you feel, and observe the mental reactions that you have to like failure or whatever is going on, then it'll work itself out. But you do have to regularly kind of like look at it and then let it go. And that's not that's it's easier said than done. But it is literally easier to do than just like sitting down and trying to work it out. Like, that's good sometimes. We'll look at the shadow workbook that I have, but sometimes that doesn't work, and sometimes it doesn't help. It's like you're just putting too much stress on it, and it just creates more blockage around it, when you really need to just, like, if you just saw it clearly, it would start to work itself out. We have 8 of uh inspiration, excuse me. Let's just get a few more. 8 of emotions. Okay, something about your abundance, your materials, about movement, and 5 of inspiration. I think this was reversed, but I can't be sure. So, so something about movement, something about conflict, something about, I feel like, inner conflict. It's like you don't want to do something. You need to gather that information. You need to look at what you have, and you need to probably spread that information to somebody else or some people. But it's like you have a lot of inner conflict about that, because you're afraid people are going to leave you. You're afraid you're going to be left alone with this. You're afraid you're going to have no support in the end. But I just feel like you do have support. You might not have it like immediately. You don't always have it in the moment when you need it, but you do have it, and in spirit especially, God. But like, and you should call on that and ask them to help you, and ask them to give you that feeling of support. And sometimes they're not going to do that unless you, like, for example, this was a great example in Alunia's video, where she said she really felt she needed a hug, and they said, well, just stand up and like put your arms up, and then we will give you that feeling. And she said that's like the first time she really like realized, okay, these this is real. And so you do need to like listen to those little intuitive hits, and you're not going to feel like that it's something else is talking. You're going to feel like it's you. You're going to feel like you made it up. But just try it anyway. Just give it a shot. Why not? And you'll see. You'll see what comes up. But yeah, the inner conflict. Okay, so what are the obstacles here? I'm going to put these back. What are the obstacles, please? I'm thinking maybe I should get another deck. Yeah, I'm thinking that because I need to. And that's how you have to do it sometimes. Maybe that was even a message. Like sometimes you have to like if you say it out loud, it grounds it into reality. And that's when you're like, oh, that was an intuition. And when it stays in your head, it just is too like it's too much air, you can't put your hand around it. And I guess when you say it, it's air too, but holy shit, my hair just bothers me to no end. I cannot handle it. Um, I know y'all sick and tired of me talking about my hair. So what are the obstacles here, please, Spirit? Oof, okay. Three of Swords. So this is, yeah, that winter really it's very wintry. It seems very cold, very distant. So this could be a lack of planning. This could be a lack of like really it's maybe that's what it is like you didn't plan well enough and something happens, and or you didn't get your information and show it to people to validate it in time or something like that. And so that's why you have this Three of Swords moment, because you're feeling guilty, you're feeling ashamed, or you're feeling regretful of that in some way. So, and why is this an obstacle? Well, first of all, I think there's another card that needs to come out. Oh, that was two cards. Okay, so we had the Two of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. So another eight here. Yeah, something needs to move. Something needs to get out of the way. I'm hearing. Um, and also I think it's like a relationship. There's some connection in your life that needs to move. It needs to go to a different place. It's not necessarily that it needs to be gone, but it very well could be. It really depends on the situation. So maybe you need to cut this person off. Maybe you need to just set boundaries. Maybe you've already done this. And there's still some work to do as far as making sure that whatever changes you've made in this relationship or in these connections or whatever this is stays that way. And because you're feeling hurt and because you're feeling regretful, you are going to be tempted to go back to how it was before. But I'm hearing that's not a good plan. That's not a good plan. Ooh, yeah, yeah. They're like, it really isn't. It really isn't. That's for everyone. And this could resonate in the future. This might, if take note of this now, it might come to you in the future, and you'll think of it. You'll get an intuitive hit about this reading, and you'll be like, oh, that's what he said. Yeah, and yeah. So it doesn't have to be right now. Although I guess I should have said that in the beginning. So let's see. So why is I think I got an answer to that, didn't I? Well, then yeah. What are the advantages that the viewer has, please, Spirit, in this situation? What are anything under their sleeve? Anything that they can use to their advantage. Appreciation, first of all, gratitude. And this comes out a lot lately, and I've been really working on that. And, just as far as I go, and I feel like the collective is there too, um, I know that this is improved, and it's because of the hard work that I've done and that you've probably done as well. And also just literally just spending time in meditation or just in general, just while you're walking, anytime, just spending time just saying thank you about nothing specific, to just say thank you, and you'll start to feel it. So it doesn't happen immediately, but you really start to feel more like a 3D area in your heart space open up, and it oh sorry I need a different microphone. It starts to open up, and it it removes blocks. I mean, I guess it kind of causes them in a way too. It like, because it starts an awakening process, and so there's going to be blocks created by that, but they're just to destroy anyway. If I was reading the tarot, I would feel like the tower was coming out after that. Anyway, appreciation is very important. Appreciating the time you had with somebody, or the time you had doing something. Definitely, I feel like there's something that's ending for a lot of you, and appreciating the time that you had instead of wishing that it was, coming, it was back now, or that it was different. Um, Door to romance. So some of you, this is a love situation, and the advantage is that you have a huge, like, you are so loving, and that's your advantage, because you are so loving and you have a lot of gratitude already, and you can use that energetically. I'm hearing something about thorns. Every rose has its thorns, but um you can use, oh, okay, well, having a big heart does lead to being hurt more often, but it also leads to your life being more fulfilling. So there's everything is a handoff. That's not what the word I'm searching for, but you know what I mean. I'm really gonna just try not to touch it. Try not to touch my hair. Okay, yeah. Door to romance. So, and also I'm feeling like whatever the situation is, it might end up with you being in a romantic situation. By the way, appreciation is number 15, and door to romance is 33. 1 plus 5 is 6. 3 plus 3 is 6. 333 might be important to you. 315 might be important to you, or just like a, not important, but you know what I mean, a synchronicity. A red belt might also be in synchronicity, or somebody might be wearing a red belt. It's very specific. A keychain. I'm hearing a keychain, or maybe even a dog collar, like the little ding ding, ding, or a cat collar. A broken finger. Okay, so just be careful about that. Or if you've already broken your finger, that's just a confirmation. Or maybe just a hurt finger. Something about the finger. Oh, maybe an engagement was not cut off. What is the word? Was ended. The marriage never happened. There was a connection that wanted to be made, or that you wanted to make, or somebody wanted you to make with them, and it just couldn't happen. It couldn't happen. And there's a good reason for that, I'm hearing. So that's an advantage for you, because maybe this was in the past that happened, and now it's allowed you to have a little bit of distance emotionally, in a healthy way. It's allowed you to be more unattached. Blossoming abundance, yeah. All of this is coming. That's the spring here. Okay, there's going to be love and abundance coming at the same time, and I honestly hear that this is for me too, so I'm happy about that, although the first part was not. Oh my gosh, that usually they're at least a little relevant to me, but that I have no idea. I have no idea. You please in the comments down below let me know. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Um, yeah, there's a lot of good coming to you, and it might be in the springtime that it's coming. But I do feel like this is a more metaphorical thing. So it's coming after the winter that you're having now, or that you're about to have, or that you've just had. Okay, so it just is your the timeline really depends on you. The transformation. There's butterflies here. I think that's an owl, but also it looked like a hawk to me from the distance. So seeing very far away. Spirit wants you to have that long term vision, and see and recognize that what it is you're you're heading for is worth the stress, and is worth the time and trouble that you're putting in. Okay, what was the last question I wanted to ask about this? Um, okay, well, I'll ask about the resolution anyway. What's the resolution here? How's this going to work out for my viewers, please? Helicopter. I've been getting that a lot actually, and this is see that's another thing, and something about intuition is coming up, but that's another thing. Sometimes you'll think about something and it seems very random, zero emphasis on that thought or that feeling, and those very fleeting, very like subtle thoughts and feelings that you have, those are the intuitive moments. And not everyone, but you'll start to realize the difference. You'll feel the difference. So maybe even doing a stream of consciousness, like, or taking voice notes every hour or something, just jotting down the random things that come to your head. It doesn't have to be constantly, but just like every hour or so, like just jot down a few of this random thoughts that come to you, and it will start to make sense. It will start to make sense, but it won't at first, and that's I feel like it's intentional. Spirit is kind of petty. Um, Somebody's laughing about that, but Spirit is a little petty sometimes. But maybe it's for the greatest good. But it feels petty sometimes. It's like, God, why do you make something so difficult when it could be so easy? So what's the resolution here? Six of emotion. Got something about somebody's mother, by the way, and nothing specific. Just said something about mother wounds, perhaps Neptune. Um, uh, very foggy. But okay, they're obscuring this. They're obscuring partially. They're saying partially, not everything. They're partially obscuring the resolution to this because once again, the same message. You just don't. We don't want you to know, and you really just couldn't imagine how good it's gonna be. What the hell is happening? That's amazing. Okay, five of voices. An olive branch is going to be extended to you. A lot of fights have happened. A lot of fights. A lot of just negative, not even necessarily fights, but just like a cold war. I'm getting a cold war. There's you know it, and somebody else knows it, that there is a problem, but you neither of you really say it. You might say something, but it you don't really say it. But we both, everybody knows that there's a problem, right? And somebody's gonna be like, okay, okay, I give up, and I'm sorry. And you know what? I'm hearing they should be sorry because they have been they've been in a position where they have maybe even made you feel like you were definitely in the wrong when it's not been the case. So, and there's nothing to apologize for, I'm hearing. So, but somebody might be apologizing to you, I think, and wanting to make friends. So, but what else about this? Two of inspiration. So their intention is pure with all that white there. There might be something that they want from you technically, but I guess we all want something from each other in the end. But like, because there is a plan, but it's like their intentions are pure, and keep your intentions pure. Watch out for whenever you're feeling vengeful. Again, I got that word last time. I got it too. But keep an eye out for when you feel vengeful, when you feel uh, angry, frustrated at somebody, bitter. Bitter. That's the one. Bitter. Okay, we got the hanged music again, also in reverse, and work on changing your perspective about things that bother you. If it bothers you, then wait, cool off a little bit, and maybe write it down and come back. You don't have to write a journal entry. Just write the what bothers you down real quick, then come back to it later when you're a little bit more regulated, and just look at it, and just look at it, and don't expect anything to happen, because when you expect things to happen, it creates more blockages. So just looking at it, like right now I'm looking at the red light here, and I have no feelings about it. Well, maybe a little bit, but see, there we go. I didn't feel like I had feelings about it, but then now I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's not really on the wall enough. So there's some judgment right there, you know. And it flows, the stream of consciousness, it flows like that. And when you're in a more regulated state, it's not going to go back and forth. I'm feeling like I'm seeing a drone, like, like it's too hectic. When you're in a regulated state, buteyko breathing will help you with that. Qigong will also help you. I've been doing medical Qigong. It's really great. um, yes, it will help you, and you'll be able to change perspective about something. It's not going to be as hard as you think it is. It's really not. It's like you really feel like you might have been dealing with this for years and years, and the moment you do this, you'll be like, God, and that might be even the regret that we talked about at the beginning. Like, God, why did I wait so long to deal with this? Because it wasn't that hard. The hardest part is just like saying, okay, I'm gonna do it, you know. 10 of inspiration. Okay, I do feel like sometimes spirit is like, okay, it's time to wrap it up, with one card or another. I feel like that's what I'm getting here. Although the cows are sticking out to me. Are those bulls? I think they are bulls. I've never seen a bull like that though. So there's a prize. There's a prize you're getting. You're going to feel tired. You're going to feel tired. At the time all this good stuff comes in, you are going to feel sick and tired and ready to give up. Okay? And that is those times when you're feeling sick and tired and ready to give up. You need to, number one, regulate the nervous system. Number two, give it a little bit of a break. And number three, come back to it and look at what perspectives can be shifted. That super goes for me too. But yeah, the roots here. Something about these roots in this card, I know that there's a message. Oh, neurons. Okay. Dendrites. Neurotransmitters, like neural pathways, creating new neural pathways. Then I got the word Angela again, or angel, but it doesn't feel like it's. I guess it is. It's dual there, because it is about angels, but it's also about like somebody named Angel. So if your name is Angel, Angel, Angela, something like that, then there's something important, or somebody you know, but it doesn't have to be, obviously. Some of you want to go to the desert. There might be something you're filming. Maybe not in the desert, but you might even be filming something in the desert. There's a story to that, but I'm not going to go into it because nerdy as hell. Um, hold on to the rope. See, she's not holding onto the rope. If there's something that is really important to you, hold on underneath it and hold on to the rope so that if it does slip out from under your arm, you still have the rope and it doesn't break. Okay? So, um, yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, tell me how it resonates, and I will talk to you next time. Love you. Bye bye.